Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing just as good as I'm doing today. I mean, I got a lot to say, honestly. Today was one of those rare inspirational days. Not that it's rare that I'm inspired, but like when you get that new desire to do something that will make you better because of, a block or an obstacle that got in your way that you want to really overcome to the best of your ability. Physically, being realistic, I got to give it like a 9.3. Like, I felt really good today. I was in like some pretty good fucking shape. I've been committing to my new diet really well. My training's been great. I've been taking care of my body. But all in all, as you'll see pretty soon, I did not get my snatches. I honestly couldn't really tell you what happened. It's just one of those rare occurrences where even if you have the most perfect lifting cycle, you can still fuck up. And not that I did anything wrong, it just in the most true essence of it, I just didn't have enough today, which is never a bad thing. I never go into something expecting to fail, obviously, but be okay with failure. That's the shit that will make you the strongest. I tell people all the time, the reps you fail are the ones that make you as strong as you are. The ones that you make are the ones that confirm your passions, So mentally, because of my new elations, we can give it a 9.5. I love the headspace that I'm in right now, and it's good to feel just as confident in your own program, because I'm self-taught in this sport, and I'm self-taught in my programming. I've been trying to commit to this stuff for about 3 years now, and it's really nice to feel the same confidence and passion that I've been pushing, and I failed, clean and simple. Like, I didn't have it in me. It wasn't enough. And the reasons why do not matter. Like, what I really want to talk about on that end is one of my biggest issues when I started lifting in general, and I started actually getting strong. I came out of 9th grade in high school weighing 225, so I was a pretty fat motherfucker, but coming out of that, I got really strong really fast and had one of those situations that I think more people have than they let out, where you think you're the best, and every step forward that you take, you are always going to be on top. And let me tell you, when I went into competitions, especially states, oh boy was I fucking wrong. I got my ass beat, and I would always compare myself to others, and I would view my failures as not ways to make me better or more reason to try harder. I would see my failures as, you are not meant for this kind of mindset. And that on its own, I think, semi-ruined doing competitions for myself. Not that I'm in the same mindset at all anymore. I broke that a long time ago. But I love this sport so much because I have turned it into my own thing. Not saying that I've done a new type of thing with the snatch or clean and jerk, or I'm doing some bizarre type of training that nobody's ever done before. I just got here on my own. Not that I did that for ego. I just wanted to do the best that I knew I could and see how far my progression could go. And so as it still grows, I was sitting there and I had that really rare thought to myself where I was like, what went wrong? What can I blame to take away the responsibility from myself so that I can feel like I deserve more credit or more flexibility in the weights that I do next programmed cycle. And I was sitting there and I'm like, man, I should have had it. What happened? And I could sit here all day and be like, oh, well, I've lost 13 pounds. I don't have enough energy. Oh, I was wearing equipment and that restricts my mobility even by just a little bit. oh, I'm at a different gym because I went to Alabama to visit my girlfriend for the week. But I sat there and I thought that that's such horse shit, I was just sitting there really thinking about what I did wrong, and then I sat, and then, you get to the realization almost every time. It's kind of like in an argument where you realize who is wrong or like trying to put blame on one individual person or occurrence is not what's important. It's about how you overcome said of occurrence in the most positive and efficient way possible while maintaining your own passions and desires. And so I was like, how can I truly switch my mindset to where I can do everything in my power and feel 100% satisfaction? Right now, I think I'm at a good 90 to 95, but today was a good eye-opener to show that I still have some cracks in what I thought was my 100% steeled resolve on how hard and how confident I was in all of my training. So even more, I can put it at a 95 to 97% confident in what I'm doing. But even that little bit of hesitation on the mindset of like whether I was doing something right or wrong really made me think. And I was like, man, like if this one little failure in a program that I'm typically really okay with failing is going to make this kind of a mindset come back out, maybe it's time for a good positive change, something that will reawaken the dogs within me, not in a weird way, but just, just something to, it's kind of why I started trying to lose a little bit of weight. I'm not purposely eating less or trying to cut super hard or anything. I just wanted to eat cleaner foods and feel healthier, feel a little bit better, take a little bit better care of my heart. My family's got a lot of heart issues, and that's one thing I don't want killing me when I've got everything else going great for me. So from today on, you can say I've developed the Clarence Kennedy mindset, whatever, I don't give a shit. But I have always been extremely proud of the fact of after I tore my low back on both sides and almost exploded both of my knees when I was at the ripe young age of 18, 3 years ago now, which is wild to think about. I've always boasted about how not like in a bragging, like narcissistic way, but just like being proud that my weights are where they are without requiring a belt, and that's always been one of my most proud identifications of my lifting, like rewards, I guess you could say. It's like I'm putting in all this effort, and on top of it, I don't wear a belt. And I was thinking to myself, and I'm like, do I really need the wrist wraps and the knee sleeves, my flimsy ass Amazon Basics, little pieces of equipment, when I am already doing a program based off of progressive overload that never goes to 100%? Like if I'm gonna get to a plateau, I don't want to sit there and think, oh, it could have been different if I took the equipment off. Or even if I do make the lifts, I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, well, I just hit it because I had the equipment on. It's like, it sucks. Like to me in Olympic lifting, the way that I love lifting the best is I think the squat shoes are a requirement. It's just, I can't really explain it, but that's just the way I feel. I have never enjoyed this type of training without them. And I think it sets up your spinal alignment really well in any form of squatting. And, on like the little stuff, like my little itty bitty baby straps that I use whenever I don't want to hook grip on like snatch pulls like I did today. I at least see that as valid because if I'm not going to hook grip, then I should be allowed to strap so that I don't rip my thumbs off. That was another thing I almost did back when I was first starting these kinds of lifts, and I would go without hook grip tape, or I would try to just bare thumb no strap it, and I almost cut the circulation from my thumb permanently, and it's terrifying. So I want to try to use as little equipment as possible that is only going to make the strength my own responsibility up until the point of possible injury. You know, because even with the knee sleeves and the wrist wraps on, there's always a risk of injury. I can't just say that I'm not going to get my knees hurt or my wrists hurt just because I'm wearing the flimsy sleeves. So that's a bullshit excuse to me. When it comes to like my hook grip or my straps or my squat shoes, I do think that I would get hurt genuinely, even if I had really, really good form, if I did not have those. So I will continue using those as just, again, it's not just about being as raw or as perfect form as possible. That's just the way I love to train. And, you know, it's not about the bragging rights of like how you train. It's more so about what is the way that you train that makes you the most passionate. So if you're a power lifter and you low bar squat that shit halfway down your back and hinge as far as you fucking can, but you're living on top of the world, fucking go for it. You know, have fun. Don't ever look at someone like me saying this type of shit and think, oh, well, I'm doing it wrong then because he said this. Everybody's got their own way of learning it. You know, I came up with this new mindset through my own personal experiences that led me to feel the most passion in what I'm doing. You know, the most drive, the most I want to do this again tomorrow kind of feeling, you know? So while it may be a little bit scary and a bit of an experimental cycle now, because I'm choosing to start doing this on peak week, we're gonna see how it goes, because I genuinely want to put in my best effort. And if that means failing an entire peak week, I don't care. I want to see what I can do with my own strength without having to put any sort of possibility that taking some sort of equipment off or lifting in some different form of way would have made a difference. I just want it to be my own individual efforts and nothing else. So you will see how that goes tomorrow. We have heavy ass fucking squat doubles and some relatively heavy clean and jerk singles. You know, we're gonna save the heavy clean and jerks for when I have like my full clean and jerk day in like 3 days. But yeah, I mean, this is something I really genuinely want to try. So I'm gonna feel it out, see where it goes. And again, this is why I say don't live your life with expectation, because I'm not doing this expecting to be 100% better. The only thing that I want out of this new type of training style is a new source of passion and a new source of growth and positive resources in my daily life, you know? So if this is that possible next new step that will make me the next new best individual unique self that I can be, then fuck it, I'm gonna try it, you know? I'm never gonna push it to the point where I feel like I'm gonna get injured, but I think that, again, I can do this without the requirement of some flimsy equipment that I've just had in my back pocket in my bag since like high school. You know, I've only ever used them when I did the really heavy new weights that I was a little bit terrified of. And again, I'm always nervous in an excited way, but I think the fact that I was depending on that equipment without a real, you know, actual reason behind it, a past experience that made me want to do it, I don't think that I really need them. So I want to move on and do something even more in my own way than I already am. So you'll see the progress. I'm here all the time, you know, I'm always going to be showing up. So take that shit with a grain of salt. You know, just, again, your training is meant to be you're supposed to train in the way that will make you love your life even more and make you want to come back every single day and do something better. You know, that's not just about the numbers. It's just anything, your form, your technique, your core, your strength, whatever. I don't care. Just your consistency, anything that you can view as a positive step forward in your individual lifestyle. That is what's important. So this is me taking my next new step. And I pray, not in a religious way, but I fucking pray that my knees are going to be okay with it. But I have to give that little bit of blind faith and see where it goes in order to develop this new source of positivity in my life. So I'll be back tomorrow, and enjoy your lifts on the outside world, you know? I'll be back. See you.